Thought it was time to do my final video on my Trooper. So here we go. The body consists of a lot of parts I threw together from the junkyard. I'm sure that's pretty common with these. But I didn't have the skid plate. My grill was ruined, so I had to get a new one. These are nice fresh headlights too. I think a lot of the front end I got was from the junkyard in Carson City. And it looked new, like the Trooper that I got it from had been in a crash at some point during its life. I think it was an 86 or an 87. This is an 89, by the way, in case I never mentioned it. Really dig the paint job. I like the color. I chose it. It's not perfect. I mean, I didn't get these seams just right, and I don't really care that much about that. But it's got a new windshield. I picked this up from China on eBay or something like that. I don't remember, but I just thought it was kind of cool. And yes, I have dish towels over the license plates. Sorry, I don't know how to blur them in the video like some people seem to. But yeah, it's the four-wheel drive works great. These are some, what are these, Goodyear all-terrain Destination, something like that. They probably rob a little power on the highway, but man, they do good in the dirt and they do good in the snow. Interior is new. Make that stop here. These are some seat covers I just bought a while ago. Cleaned it up the best I could. There's a little tear in the vinyl, as you can see. This back seat is pretty awesome. My friend actually picked that up for me in a junkyard. Looks like it's new. It's crazy. What else? How about under the hood? I did rebuild this engine. Excuse me, 1 minute, gotta put the rod up. I mean for the hood. Okay, well, yeah, it runs pretty good. Never dynoed it, but I'm guessing since stock was 130, or 120, I might be pulling 130. But I really have no idea. One weird problem I had was with the fuel pressure regulator. What happened is I would start the car, I'd start the engine, and the idle air control and all that works fine. But as the RPM was coming down when it would warm up, if it was just sitting there, it would go lower and lower and lower and start sputtering. And then if you throttled up a few times, then suddenly it would pep up and go back to 900 or 1000 or wherever you set the RPM before. It would do that every time you start it. So what I found out after a lot of troubleshooting was that if you unplug the oxygen sensor and you start it, you'll see it'll actually never pep up and never come back up to where it was supposed to be, because when you start it, it's actually not reading the oxygen sensor until you throttle up a few times or a certain amount of time passes. I'm not sure, but it was correcting a lean condition. The oxygen sensor was. When I would unplug it, it couldn't, because it couldn't read it. The lean condition was coming from the fuel pressure regulator getting vacuum all the time. It's not supposed to. When you're idling or cruising, or of course wide open throttle, there should be no vacuum. It should be full 42 psi, I believe. But if you're in gear slowing down, or maybe it's just fifth gear slowing down, then the computer tells this vacuum switching valve to open up to allow vacuum to go to this fuel pressure regulator, knocking the PSI down to 31 PSI. So mine must be stuck open. So this is my temporary solution. I'd like to fix it at some point. I might be losing a little mileage on the highway, but nothing significant that I've noticed. The only other thing I thought was a little unusual was I did raise the compression a bit. I think it's probably over 9. I don't really know exactly, and I did buy a compression tester to check, because I'm getting some pinging. I run premium, and I had to back on a hot day with the air conditioner on. I still get pinging, and I'm backed all the way off to 8. It's not that bad. It's usually only if I'm sitting there idling for a while and then I go onto an on-ramp. to take off onto the highways. Of course, it's past 3,000 RPM. But usually if I'm just running normal, wide open throttle, going up a hill or something like that, I'm okay. But during the summer, I might have to back it off to 6, which is surprising because as people who work on these know, stock is 12. And I double check to make sure that my marks are all right. I put in an indicator into the spark plug hole to make sure when it's the top dead center really is top dead center. But I'm dealing with it. But if someone was rebuilding these and they asked, I would recommend not raising compression much, if at all. Let's see, what else is there to say about it? I don't know. Let's fire it up real quick. Runs good, it's smooth. The engine is balanced. And I'm having a good time with it. If I want to go fast, I'll drive this, or even that's 270 horse with a 6-speed stick. This is, I built the engine myself, and this is probably 350 plus horse. But this is fun to drive, and it's killer off-road. If someone else is working on one of these, they have a question, please ask me, because I have a lot of knowledge. I know there's guys that have a lot more than I do about these, but I kind of feel like what I learned is sort of just going to waste because I only have one of these. So if anyone else is doing a project and they want some help, feel free to shoot me a message. Thank you.